Welcome. Tell us who you are and a little bit about your business.
Okay, my name is Jason Gollan with Common Good Bakery on 14th Street in Traverse City, and we are a full-line craft bakery.
What made you decide to start Common Good Bakery?
We founded our business as a way to work every day against the cynicism and fear that seems to be pervading things more and more, and to make goodness more common. That was really it, that was the reason. And I happen to be a bread baker and happen to have a graduate degree from the School of Hospitality Business at Michigan State. So that's what allowed it to happen. But, we didn't need to do this financially, but we needed to do it because, the world's weird, and having a purpose every day is important from a brand perspective, but then just, if you're going to spend your time doing something, you might as well make a difference in your little corner of the world. That's the reason.
Tell us a little bit about your products.
So our product line is it's a European style bakery, and so the way that we design the product line is kind of looking at what else was out there and not doing that. And so we have a whole line of laminated pastries, so things like croissants and Danish. That's a big part of our business, and then we have a whole line of European style crusty breads baked in a 22,000 pound brick oven that took 5 of us a week to construct. It's quite some fire-breathing dragon. When the store was open, I would bring the little kids in and show them the dragon, and it's all because we have a steam injector, So you build it up, you open the window, you see the dragon, then you press a button, and they love it. And the really brave ones are like, "That's not a dragon," So anyway, so the product line is different by design. We do breakfast in the form of grilled panini, so egg sandwiches that actually are available all day, and then we have a grab-and-go lunch that are cold sandwiches. So a little bit of everything, but really the bulk of the business is breakfast pastry. That's probably the most unique thing, and then our breads, of course, are very special.
Why Common Good Bakery?
Our mission as a company is to do good every day. It's on the delivery van, it's on the wall when you walk into the store. And so we are trying to accomplish that. That's kind of our mission. So another great book to read is called Conscious Capitalism. This is John Mackey from Whole Foods wrote it with an academic. Spectacular, very positive, and not at all cynical, very rational book. And in that book, he talks about trying to create as many wins as possible with every decision that a business makes. So businesses have different constituencies that they influence. So, the prototypical, that the critique on capitalism, it is only for the shareholders. And so that is one group. That's really important. They need a return on their investment. But there's also the people that work there, and there's the vendors, and there's the customers, and there's your community, and maybe the natural environment, if you care about that sort of thing. So one of the ways that we implement that is just trying to think about those things when we're making decisions, so that drives our philosophy for how we pay people, and the ingredients that we choose, and the packaging that we choose. We do little things like we count change back to people, because it's just nice. And it just, the bakery business we're in the nostalgia business, it's unique. Everybody has a memory of a baked good, and it's right in your heart, with your, usually an older relative. It might not be, it could be your mom, but it's usually an aunt or grandma or something like that. And you talk to people like that cinnamon cookie or whatever it is, and so we talk about that in the team all the time, that we're kind of in the nostalgia business. But then also that manifests itself in the idea of providing genuine hospitality. So that is sort of an art that's not as well practiced today as it once was. But the way that we talk about that is trying to really understand the customer, what's going on for them by engaging with them, and then really trying to make sure that they feel better after their interaction with us than they did when they came in. So whatever that is, you know. So we have 6 or 8 guiding principles for the team, you know, one of which is be generous, you know, and another one is answer the unasked question. So, you know, which means you got to like get into the customer's head and like, here she is, she's here today. I don't know how are you today? You know, just trying to connect, and then making sure that we always go above and beyond. And that plays itself out in the quality of the products and the way we make our coffee and, you know, all of that stuff. But so do good every day is our kind of guiding principle, something that is a part of everything that we do.
How did you react to the COVID shutdown?
When we got the information that there was a shutdown happening, I was at home that morning having coffee. It was an office day for me. And the first thing I did was call the inspector from the Michigan Department of Agriculture, who is our regulator, just looking for guidance. So I try to get my information from the source as much as I can. Just something I learned is the best way to go is to get a primary source. And so she kind of talked me through what she knew and what she thought the ramifications were going to be for our business. Turned out to be very few, honestly, but that was my first call, was to MDARD, and because we've built a good relationship with them, and wanted to make sure that we understood their perspective and so that we could make our plans. Then the next thing we did is we convened a meeting. So we're closed on Mondays, and so we brought everybody together. I don't remember, that was like the 13th, whatever day of the week that was. It might have been a Monday, and so I don't remember. But we brought everybody together and we talked about it as a team. We retrained everybody on our cleaning procedures. One of the things that's been interesting for us in food service is that all of this cleaning that seemed really new to everybody, we're already doing that all the time. You know, the teenagers that work for us are always joking to each other, if you can lean, you can clean, you know. And so, but we brought everybody through, like, this is a surfactant, and that gets the dirt off, and then this is the sanitizer, and, you know, all of those things. So we kind of took it as an opportunity to bring everybody together, air out how people were feeling, because that was a part of it too, and then retrain on some of the stuff that we already do every day, and just re-emphasizing it, like, no, really, guys, no dirt. You know, when I come in at 1 in the morning, the first thing I look at is all the flat surfaces. You know, as a baker, you're sort of trained to notice things. And so that was sort of our first reaction, was, you know, once we understood the sort of the playing field, then to bring the team together and talk it through. And we learned a lot from talking to the team. Well, people were freaked out. You know, we had people with pre-existing conditions. We have an older gentleman that worked for us. We had a pregnant woman. You know, so just sort of talking all of that through and seeing where they were coming from gave us a lot more information to figure out the right way to act.
How did COVID affect your business?
Honestly, this has been a good situation for our business. So we never closed. We did decide by about the end of March, so 2 weeks in, we decided to close our storefront and just go online, ordering and curbside delivery, which we continue to do today. So that was, you know, one change to our model was, instead of having people in the store, we set up folding tables and organized them by pickup time, and really have had to change how we do things. It's been a net positive, honestly. I'm not sure when we'll reopen the store.
How has Interest CPA helped your business both before and during COVID?
I would say it started, you know, as we were forming the company and really just talking through, like, what corporate form do we want? And, like, I'm a big fan of S corporations, and so that's what we went with. They're just simpler than partnerships. I don't like partnerships. But just to be able to talk that through and understand what that meant for us as a family, and that was probably the beginning of it. And then, of course, setting up our books and our chart of accounts and trying to understand the right way to categorize things on the asset side and things like that. So I'm a marketer, so I need a finance person. You know, I can calculate the time value of money, but I'm not happy about it. So having them as a partner to be able to do some of that heavy lifting, or to say, okay, you know, we're looking at doing this, what might that mean? And then how do we think about it from a tax efficiency standpoint? So that's been really helpful. They've been an incredible partner through this past 6 months in terms of being proactive. You know, like I wouldn't be able to have made the right decisions without Intrust and our banking partner. They've both been very proactive, sending out information ahead of time, which, you know, and then being available for follow-up, you know, detail. I always have detailed questions. But just so I can understand it, you know, and so as an example, we took a PPP loan, and after talking with John, I figured out a plan to spend it all in 7 weeks, so we made sure, based on what we thought at the time, it would all be forgiven, and now they've extended it to whatever they've extended. I'm not worried about any of it now, but that was sort of like, we had this plan, okay, we need to do this because we wanted to pay everybody a little kind of hazard pay, and then, but just coming up with the specifics of that and understanding, oh, okay, my part of that isn't included. So then having to account for that, just sort of, you know, the detail stuff matters if you're going to be successful. Yeah, especially our business is not super high margin. You know, if you get to double-digit net, you are a rock star. You know, most people are like 4 to 6% net, and so pennies count.
What are your plans for the future?
I'm actively looking for a drive-through on the east side of the lake that nobody wants to drive around, even my friends from ice hockey. I'm kind of kidding about that, but you guys live here? It's weird in this town. I don't come to the west side. It's 2 miles. So anyway, I designed this brand and I designed this business to be successful anywhere. We continue to prove to ourselves that there's some good strategy behind what we're doing. And so we plan to continue to grow at more than, you know, as fast as we can, basically. That's sort of been my background professionally, is starting and then consulting for businesses that care and are also high growth. You know, so a lot of businesses can't handle like double-digit growth. They just operationally. So a big part of my expertise is how do you grow at 40% a year and retain people. You know, so that kind of stuff. You know, so what that turns into and where we go, and I don't know yet, but that's the mindset with everybody on the team. You know, so.
What advice would you give new business owners?
They need to read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's where I would start. That's like a foundational book to having a good attitude and understanding what it takes to differentiate between an idea and an opportunity. Because too many business owners have ideas. That's why we're entrepreneurs. But unless you have a critical mass of customers willing to pay you a profitable price, then it's not an opportunity, it's just an idea. And so you have to really understand that, and you know, the reason I recommend that book is that a big part of that is you have to start with the end in mind. You know, so you're putting your arm around your partner or your wife or whatever it is, and you said, we did it. We got to start with what that looks like and work your way back. And then the other thing is, if you don't have a to the penny understanding of your costs, then you can't price properly and you'll never be profitable. So I think too many people kind of look at what other people are charging and like, oh, I'm going to charge that much. that may or may not work with what you're trying to accomplish. So for us, we started this in a really tough hiring environment. It was very much an employees hiring environment. And so I knew we needed a benefit plan out of the gate. And so that went into our cost structure. So we're a new business. I have I have PTO, full benefits. Everybody earns a living wage. And I have a customer that's, willing to pay that price for each of our products. But that took planning. That took knowing, okay, I'm not going to get anybody around here that's worth hiring if I don't pay them a certain wage. And benefits are a big differentiator. And then, okay, what are those costs? And how do I put that into my plan to come up with what I think I need to charge? And then what's the marketing around that? How do I convince people it's worth paying for? All of that stuff. But it all starts with what is the big picture win in your mind, So for some people, it's just, I just want to own my job. I don't want to work for someone else. Okay, that's fine. Some people want to, have a big exit and retire at 35. Those are all really worthwhile things to do, but that's a different mindset, different decisions,